and then I went over again. Oh, fuck off. Hi guys, today I thought I would share with you my favourite things throughout the month of January. I'm just going to jump straight on in with makeup. If you watched my what I got for Christmas video, you would know that my lovely friend Emma got me the Illamasqua Facet palette in Aura. And specifically, there are two things in this palette that I have been loving. The first one is this eyeshadow here, which is called Feint. It's sort of like a reddy... It's described on the website as a pink chocolate, and by the way, this shadow has been discontinued, which I think is really stupid. Why would you chuck it in a palette and then discontinue it? I don't know. But anyway, I feel like it's very in touch with the whole neutrals, Pantone's Colour of the Year Marsala type of thing, and I've just been absolutely loving this, and I've been wearing it basically on a daily basis. I think why I like it is because it's like a neutral colour, but it looks different. I just love blowing it out through my crease and having some serious winged liner, and I just think it looks fantastic. So I've been absolutely loving this sort of reddy browned colour. And also something else that I've been loving is the brow product in this. This is their brow cake in Thunder. The word cake really put me off, actually. I don't know why. Cake just made me think it's sort of going to be really like thick and horrible, but it's not. I just feel like it's sort of got like a bit more of density to it than your standard powder, and that's why I think it's called a cake. But anyway, I've been thoroughly enjoying using it through the brows, and I've actually been using the brush that came with it. There's an angled side, and that's actually worked really well for me. I took this away with me travelling, so I was using this almost every day. But those definitely two products which definitely stood out to me. The others are fine in this palette too, but those are definitely the things that have been bringing me back to this palette time and time again. Sticking with the brow theme, there is another brow product which I've been loving, which is the Eyeko Brow Gel. I believe this only comes in one colour. It doesn't specify any colour on it, but it's a brown colour. And I've actually had this a little while, and when I first got it I didn't really like it, but that's because my only bugbear with this product is way too much is on the spoolie. When you pull it out, you have to like really like wipe off quite a lot of excess, because before I was wiping the excess off, I'd find it just globbing absolutely everywhere all over my eyebrows, and I was just like, ain't nobody got time for that. Oh god, how long have I been out of focus? But when I realised if you just took a little bit of the excess off, it's actually a really, really nice brow gel. Particularly if you use something like a powder in your brows, I feel like a powder sort of more like fills in the brows, whereas this sort of gives life back to the actual hairs of your brows. And I'm actually quite lucky, I've got fairly thick brows as it is, but I feel like particularly in the front where my brows are a little bit more sparse, this really comes in handy. And Eyeko are one of those brands which aren't like crazily over the top expensive either, and I can actually see this lasted me a very long time indeed. So yes, I would highly recommend this one. Slowly but surely I am moving down the face. I've got a mascara which has been a rediscovery for me. I'm actually going to be posting a blog post all about it very soon, but it is the Bourjois Beautiful Volume Mascara Dark Kohl. Basically it's this one here. It's a pretty jazzy packaging, so I'm pretty sure if you went to a Bourjois stand you'd be able to pick out this one. I think this is the perfect They're Real dupe, if I'm honest. The wand is kind of similar. It's definitely one of those plastic ones, and it's got the spikes at the end which help you elongate your outer lashes, and honestly I prefer this. And oh, it's only $7.99 as well instead of like almost £20, and I honestly can't fault it. I just think it does everything that I want it to do. It says that it gives 10 times more volume, and then it says black coal formula. I don't know if that makes it any better or not, but yeah, honestly I just think this is also one of Bourjois' more cheaper mascaras as well, and I can't fault it. I think it's really, really good, and it's a fraction of the price of a lot of mascaras which perform similarly to it. I've got a red lipstick that I'd like to talk about, and in typical fashion it is not the one that's on my lips. It is the Chanel Flamboyante lipstick, which is number 337 and is in the Rouge Allure Velvet line. I wore this on Christmas Day, which feels like an absolute age ago, but I really, really love the formula of this. It is really, really long lasting, so I think it's really great for bright colours. This one was part of their Christmas collection, but I'm positive you can find a colour similar or a completely different colour in the range, because I'm digging this formula, and the colour too, obviously. But I basically layered this twice and blotted it, and it lasted all day. This is again something that I took away with me and I wore for a meal out, and it stayed on just fine, and I would just really recommend it. I just think the formula is a long lasting one, but it's not a drying one, and it's not like a completely matte finish, it's more of a satin finish, and it just wears nicely. It is light on the lips, and yeah, it's something that I'd really recommend. As I said, I understand that this colour is limited edition, but I'm positive there's a bajillion other reds in that line that are just as fantastic. Or even if you're a pink girl, I'm sure there are some lipsticks in this range which you would love. I've got a nail varnish to talk about, and it's one from Essie. It is Chinchili. Now I'm not going to dwell too long on this one because I feel like this is a pretty famed shade. I only actually got this about a month or so ago, and when I went away this is what I wore on my nails and I loved it. It's one of these things that it's like neutral enough that it's not gonna be too busy and clash with any other outfits, but it's an interesting enough colour that, you know, it sticks out. So I would definitely recommend this colour if it's not already in your collection, which I'm sure it probably is because it is one of those classic shades. But yes, along with many others before me, I would definitely recommend this shade, and it also would work really well on your toes as well, although I've been wearing it on my hands, although of course I haven't got any nail varnish on today. But yeah, I'd recommend that one. Right, moving on to skincare, I have a cleansing balm that I'd like to talk about. Basically, everybody knows long haul flights are awful for your skin, and my skin is no exception. When I got back from the States, my skin was sort of kind of feeling like spotty, like, you know how it kind of feels sore when it's about to get spotty, but also dry, particularly around sort of my chin area as well, which I just wasn't feeling. So I turned to a less harsher cleanser in my collection, and it's fantastic. It's one of those ones that I sort of got and kind of looked over, and I don't see why. Anyway, what I'm talking about is the Omorovicza. Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher fucking this shit. It's the Omorovicza Thermal Cleansing Balm. I got this in a sort of deal on Cult Beauty a while back, and I think the reason that I didn't use it is because of the smell. I'm not crazy about it now, but at the time I was like, what? And it kind of smells spa-like, but there's something about it that I just can't put my finger on that I didn't particularly like, so I didn't tend to reach for it, if I'm perfectly honest, which I know a smell shouldn't determine that, but honestly it did. Anyway, so I turned to this because it is a more higher end product, and it is a balm, so it tends to be a lot more moisturising on your skin and a lot less harsh than some other cleansers, and I have fallen in love with this product, honestly. I use it most nights, and I found like the first night that I used it, my skin's dryness was just gone. It was just done. Now I tend to usually have oily combo skin, so I don't know if it would necessarily have the same results on somebody with drier skin than me, but for that sort of random patch of dryness, done, no worries. And I also found that it sort of calmed my skin quite a bit, so it definitely didn't bring me up in spots or anything like that. And I don't know, I just felt it really sort of helped my skin out when it was sort of thrown a bit of a paddy post-flight, so I would definitely recommend this, although I am fully aware that this is definitely not a cheap product. I do think it will last you a fairly long time, but yeah, obviously I understand that's an investment. I thought I'd show you something else that I've been using post-flight, which is again something that is moisturising but not gonna bring me out in spots. Anyway, what I'm talking about is the Vitamin E Moisture Cream by The Body Shop. But this is a moisturiser that I've been putting on both day and night. It works well under makeup, and again it's something that I feel like would bring my skin back down to normal. I think this is something around £15, which, you know, isn't like £5, but it's still a lot cheaper than this. And yeah, I just thought because it is the sort of season where even the most oiliest of girls tend to get a little bit of dry skin around this time of year, so this is something which has helped me get my skin back to square one. Speaking of skincare, I would love to hear your recommendations specifically on hyperpigmentation. I had a breakout on this cheek pretty badly a couple of months ago. I mean, it was a while ago, and I don't have any new spots on my face. Like, I've had like one or two up here, but like nothing to do with this specific patch of skin for a good while, and yet I still have sort of the remnants. It's like there's not like a spot there, but like the red mark is still there, and it's just annoying me, to be honest. I mean, it's something that can be covered up with makeup fairly easily, but I want to get rid of it. So if you have any recommendations on sort of it's not necessarily redness in my skin, it's just the redness of the previous spots. So if you know anything that's particularly good at targeting hyperpigmentation, I'm already using the F-Claw Duo Plus, which I feel like is making a bit of a difference. But as I said, I still have it there, so it's not completely taking it down. So if you have any recommendations on like a serum or a treatment which sort of targets hyperpigmentation, I would love to hear about it. So if you can leave that in the comments below, I'll be very grateful. I have one product left, which is a bath product, and it is the Almond Shower Oil by L'Occitane. I took this away with me, as you can see, it's sort of a sample bottle, and I still have about half of this left. So I imagine the full size would last you an absolute age. And I found that you would not have to moisturise after this at all, which I think is absolutely fantastic for travelling, which is obviously what I was doing at the time. It smells really good. It turns like a slightly milky lather, and it's just, honestly, I mean, I know obviously I have a sample size here. I just feel like it was a little bit of luxury to take it away with me and being in someone else's shower. Not that Gianna's shower was bad, because it certainly wasn't, but it wasn't my own, and you know what I mean. Like, you know, when it's not your own shower, it feels, you know what I mean. Anyway, so I definitely would recommend this if you're in the market for some upmarket shower oil. This is actually the first shower oil I've ever used, and one thing that sort of put me off, this is going to sound so gross, but I'm going there, is I didn't think it would make my armpits feel clean. That sounds a bit gross, but because it's like an oil, I feel like it would feel, yeah, sure, it'd feel nice on the skin, but I don't think it would actually do the cleaning side of things well. But stupidly, I've used cleansing oils before, and I know they definitely get the job done. But anyway, it definitely made my armpits feel clean too, if that's a worry for you, because I know it was for me. Anyway, so I would recommend this as well, particularly if you're travelling, but I'm sure it'd be a nice little luxury in your shower at home too. This is usually the part where I tack on my non-beauty favourites, but I actually have quite a few. So I'm going to be making a separate video in a couple of weeks all about my non-beauty favourites for the moment, so sit tight and wait for those. Also, if there's any other videos you'd like to see from me, please leave a comment down below and letting me know. If you want to subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, that'd also be a-okay with me. Anyway, I hope your January has been lovely and 2015 is treating you just as well as you deserve, and I shall be seeing you guys very soon. Thanks guys, bye! Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would haul what I've recently picked up when I was in the States. Oh, fuck off.